Alright. Think this is the place? The sign is affixed to the locked door. Hey, you trading, Crossbell branch. If you have business with us, please knock. I think this is the place. How do we proceed, Lloyd? Knock. Open up, it's the cops. Excuse me, is anybody there? And who might you all be? We're from the Crossbell Police Department's Special Support Section. We're hoping to ask your branch manager a few questions regarding a certain incident, if possible. Wait here for a moment. And now we wait, taking bets on who's gonna meet us, demon or a snake. I look forward to what awaits us behind the door. I apologize for the wait. The branch manager will see you now. Please step aside. Or please, wait, did you say step aside? Step inside. So, thank you. If you'll excuse us. Door shut tight. Huh. Door shut tight. Our apologies for making you wait. Right this way. This is the branch manager's room. You locked doors, eh? Oh, how nice of you to finally visit. Hello, I'm Lloyd Bannings of the CPD Special Support Section. A pleasure to meet you. I am Cal Lee, manager of Heyu Trading's Crossbell branch. So you're Lloyd, and you three must be Ellie, Randy, and Tio, correct? May I ask how you know of our names already? Of course, truth be told, I'm an avid reader of the Crossbell Times. I was mesmerized by your exploits and instantly became a fan. Though boorish of me, I decided to investigate your backgrounds through various intermediaries. That's so. This dude is seriously coming at us guns blazing. He is cunning and intelligent, that much is obvious. Ain't no mistake, it's an honor to meet an intriguing group like yourselves. What brings you to our office today? Do you take some issue with our business operations? No, not exactly. We're actually in the middle of investigating an incident involving Ark-in-Ciel. Ark-in-Ciel, you say? Ah, but of course, Crossbell's very own prided theatrical troupe. I've been meaning to see one of their shows ever since I came to Crossbell, but work has kept me oh so busy, you know. I seem to recall them having announced their next production, correct? Yeah, that's right. As a matter of fact, our investigation is related to an issue with their upcoming show. We'd actually like to ask you a few questions about it, if you don't mind. Oh dear, sounds like quite the predicament has transpired. Very well, I shall comply with your request, free of charge, of course. Yin, you say? We're aware that Heiyu's main office is located in the Republic's eastern border. It occurred to me that you might actually be familiar with Yin due to that fact. Impressive deduction. Am I to assume that you're implying that I have connections to Yin? No, of course not. We haven't found a reliable lead. Yet. And no offense, but we left visiting your office as a last resort. None taken. So that's your game then. You intend to seek any information you can. Listen closely then. I shall recall a Calvardian legend sure to reveal deeper insight into Yin. We're listening. The name Yin holds a particularly strong influence within the Eastern Quarter. Garbed in a mask and shawl of ebony, no one has gazed at the assassin's true face. He appears like a shadow and vanishes like a phantom. His prey has never once escaped. And though it may seem preposterous, some say Yin may be immortal. Immortal? What do you mean? The documents show that Yin has been operating as an assassin for at least a century. His rise into legend began shortly after the democratization of the Calvard Republic. If you were to examine records from that time, Yin's name is frequently mentioned. The demon draped in black sent one prominent figure after another to their grave during this chaotic period in history. This story is getting more unbelievable by the second. Isn't it just a spooky legend to keep the kiddos under control? No, Mr. Orlando. Yin is very real. Excuse me? Yin far surpasses a mere tall tale in the underworld of the Eastern Quarter. Though his true identity is unknown, Zemuria's greatest assassin can be employed for the right price and under the right conditions. A master of all assassination techniques. A dark martial artist with incredible dexterity and agility. No one dares deny his existence. A certain organization highly values him and entrusts many jobs to him, or so the rumor goes. The organization you are referring to. Ah yes, that reminds me, while we're on the topic of Yin. I've heard recent claims of Yin having vanished entirely from the Eastern Quarter. It has come to my attention that Yin has accepted a hefty job from the aforementioned organization. Apparently, Yin left for a certain autonomous state we're all familiar with. I don't like what you're implying. What's the matter? I haven't given you the name of the organization, have I? I just can't help but wonder what state they might be traveling to. You and Ravash are one and the same. Oh, please refrain from comparing Heiyu to that measly local gang. Or at least that's what I'd like to say. Quite frankly, I'm more than impressed with how well they've managed to adapt to this peculiar city. Those persistent little pests have caused nothing but trouble for us. You fessing up? He went straight to the point. I am merely referring to them as our fellow business competitors. State law protects competition between businesses and free trade, you know? Do you take issue with that, officers? This guy is very direct and bold, but... Let me ask you this one final question. Has Arkan Seal been caught in the crossfire between you and Ravash? Oh? We just received information about Ravash's proposal for Arkan Seal to perform in the Imperial capital. Were you considering a similar proposal too? I have no problem admitting that certain crowds in the Republic wish to be graced by their presence. However, our company is unconcerned with petty matters such as the entertainment industry. I certainly am perplexed though. Why exactly was the threat letter signed with the name of an assassin? That's what I intend to find out. Thank you for your time, Cal. We appreciate your cooperation. Lloyd? You sure you're good, man? I doubt we get much more out of him if we stayed any longer. And besides, Cal already seems more than busy enough. So, if you'll excuse us. Lloyd's right. Anytime, my friend. Anytime at all. One more thing before you leave, Detective Bannings. What do you want? Come now, don't look so displeased. You recall me saying that I'm a big fan of the SSS? Believe me when I say that was no lie. Huh? I must say, this current investigation of yours absolutely fascinates me. As one of your fans, I can hardly wait to see how you resolve this one. I am most certainly looking forward to it. Interesting. He is an interesting character. I like characters like him though. Thank you for all you do, officers. The branch manager told me to tell you to contact us again if anything happens. We appreciate the hospitality. Now we have to worry about these guys on top of Ravash. I want to say they at least seem a bit friendlier than Ravash. You think they're just doing it to screw with us? That is not out of the realm of possibility. Ellie, you okay? Are you feeling unwell? No, I'm fine. More importantly, we found out that the legendary assassin, Yin, has managed to infiltrate Crossbell State. We can likely work under this assumption. Yeah, it didn't seem like he was lying. Also, I find it hard to believe that Cal is the one threatening Arkan Seal and Dilia. I was thinking the same thing. Only problem is, why'd he call attention to himself and imply they're connected to Yin? And then would that mean Yin's actions are not tied to his employer, Heiyu, rather he is acting of his own accord? We might be out of options if that's the case. Let's assume you're right. That means Cal probably doesn't know Yin's true identity. Sounds like our only option is to catch a legendary assassin then. Unfortunately true. If Yin is truly after Ilya's life, then this case may be beyond our capabilities. There's no guarantee that we'd be able to apprehend a professional assassin like Yin anyway. That being the case, wouldn't it be better to leave this to headquarters? I'm not sure that's necessarily true. Would they not simply look the other way like they did the incident in downtown? I doubt it. Arkan Seal, and by extension, Ilya, are incredibly important to the people of Crossbell. Headquarters would definitely take action if her life were in danger. They'd stake their pride on it. That's correct. Oh, You're... I believe you're with the 1st Investigative Division, yes? I am Alex Dudley of the 1st Investigative Division. Let's relocate. Huh? Why? Only an absolute buffoon would discuss information here of all places. We don't have time to waste. Follow me. Understood. What's with the tude, pal? Are you all insane? I don't know what you were planning, but to think you'd waltz right in there? Not only that, you then decided to discuss the results within earshot of their building. Sorry, sir. Perhaps we were too hasty with our judgment. Well? Well, what? You're going to explain to me what you were babbling on about with Ark and Seal, and how this all relates to your little visit to Heyu. You better tell me everything you know. Excuse me? Where the hell is this coming from? It is brazen of you to demand that after showing up so suddenly. I wonder which one of us is truly brazen. The 1st Division has been keeping tabs on Heyu for over a month already. You're the ones who barged into our investigation without any notice. Is that really the truth? Does that mean you're after Yin too? Oh, aware of Yin's existence already, are we? Well, no matter. Tell me everything you know. I won't hesitate to file a complaint to Sergei claiming you're obstructing our investigation if you don't comply, that is. Damn it, alright, fine. I understand. However, this was a formal request submitted to the SSS. Can we ask that you don't tell anyone else? I'll be the one to decide that. On with the details already? This is an order. I understand the situation. I didn't think there was anything concrete, but it seems they finally tipped their hand. Are you referring to Yin? Yes, I am. Heyu employed a legendary assassin as a trump card in order to threaten Ravash's influence. The 1st Division received an anonymous tip with information regarding Heyu. We've been surveilling them since. I have to say though, I'm impressed a group of amateurs were able to jump right into the thick of it and create an opening. Oh, mighty high praise coming from a guy like you. I would like to inquire as to why you only had Heyu under your surveillance. I'm under the impression that your team is leaving Ravash unchecked. Excuse me? What are you implying? 1st Division already understands Ravash's operating procedure. We're also fully aware of both the incident downtown and how they've used warhounds. Don't think for a second that we haven't kept tabs on the cases you've been getting involved in. What? Why then? If we jump on every little thing they did, then we'd be running in circles. It's not like they committed a murder. They were just petty crimes. Do you think it's worth it to strain our limited personnel and put off more important cases? I understand that, but still. Detectives of the 1st Division are different from greenhorns like yourselves. We're charged with maintaining a certain degree of order in a city where justice has an uphill battle as is. We're expected to suppress major crimes and protect the public from criminal organizations and foreign intelligence agencies. Can you possibly fathom the work that goes into that? I knew it. I always had a feeling. Crossbow's peace and prosperity are hanging by a thread. Yes, and most of the citizens fail to realize it. Sure, it might be popular to read stories on Ravash's ties to Imperial faction Diet members. Meanwhile, Heyu is in the process of deepening their relationship with the Republican faction. If we allow it to progress any further, they'll be untouchable. Our laws against espionage are lax as well. Agents from foreign intelligence agencies are free to enter and leave however they'd like. I never realized how dire the situation was. This is unbelievable. Sounds like Crossbow's always one step away from all hell breaking loose. We're doing everything we can, despite the desperate situation we're in. We access how dangerous each case is, and even if we can't solve the root cause of it, we can at least lessen the impact. Handling it is nothing more than solving one part of a larger puzzle. Huh. We haven't been able to keep a close watch on the case regarding Ark and Seal. Thank you for the valuable information. 1st Division will handle it from here. You may return to your usual positions. What? The hell are you getting at? Why are you doing this to us? After carefully assessing the situation, I have ascertained that Yin is more than a mere legend. We'll be observing Heiyu's movements while protecting Ilya Patir from falling victim to our mysterious assassin. Tell me, do you think you'd be able to handle it? Damn it. With our lack of resources, it would prove to be difficult. At the very least, I can let you handle contacting Ark and Seal. Make sure you tell them that their case has been transferred to the 1st Division. See to it that they're given a proper explanation. Eat a dick. That's how I feel about it. What the hell? He said his piece and then pieced out. Driving away in his personal vehicle frustrates me even more. As frustrated as we all are, I understand where he's coming from. You do? I actually agree with him. The scope of this case has gone way beyond our level of experience. All we can do now is inform the troop and offer our sincerest apologies. So that it. There is nothing more we can do. Wait a moment, everyone. Huh? Lloyd, how can you? How can you say that? You told us to overcome our barriers. You said as long as we're together, then no barrier is too high, didn't you? So why are you giving up so easily? Ellie? Why the total meltdown, Mademoiselle? Didn't you already tell us it'd be better to leave it to headquarters? Oh, I did, didn't I? Ellie. Listen, Ellie, I don't like the situation we're in either. I don't want it to end this way. There has to be something we can do. If you don't want us to give up, then we'll find another way. No, it's alright. I'm sorry, everyone. I think we've just had a rough day is all. Ellie. Well, we did spend our entire day running into one jackass after another. Let's go report the news to Arkansas. We can head back to the SSS and relax for a bit after. Understood. That sounds like a reasonable plan. Sure. Fine by me. Is that okay with you, Ellie? Yes. Thank you, everyone. Let's be off to Arkansas then. She seems to have some emotional investment in her case. Like, she seems like to be of nobility or something, right? Or like a well-off family. And it seems like maybe her well-off family has some ties to Ravash. Maybe even Heiyu. I don't know. To Entertainment District. Oh no. Oh, what a surprise! Good afternoon, Ellie. Oh, looks like I'm about to get some answers to some questions. Hello, grandfather. Ernest. Did I hear her right? This man is Ellie's grandfather? It's a shame that I haven't seen you recently. You look well. How was work? Well, I'm still new to everything, so we made a few missteps along the way. But I assure you, I don't intend to bring any shame upon the McDowell name. Oh, Ellie, I've told you, haven't I? Don't worry yourself with name or pedigree. Are these your colleagues by chance? Yes, they are. It's nice to meet you, sir. My name is Lloyd Bannings, and I'm with the CPD Special Support Section. Dia Plato, how do you do? How's it going? My name is Randy Orlando. My name is Henry McDowell. It's a pleasure to meet the three of you. I must thank you for taking care of my granddaughter. No, sir, I think you're mistaken. Ellie is the one that's always looking after us. Mademoiselle is a bona fide genius when it comes to taking care of reports and all that jazz. That does not excuse your utter lack of assistance, Randy. Don't worry about it, it's okay. Is that so? Well, what is important is that you're content with your post. You know, Ellie, it wouldn't hurt to stop by your home every once in a while. My apologies. I've been hesitant to rely on anyone ever since I became independent. Even so, don't you... It's fine, Ernest. Ellie wishes to stand by her decision. Listen, dear. Continue down the path you've chosen until you're satisfied. I cannot mix business with personal affairs, but know that I will cooperate with you to the best of my ability. I know. Thank you, grandfather. Now then, shall we go, Ernest? I have a meeting with the Business Owners Association next, correct? Yes, sir. It's scheduled for 5 p.m. Ain't that a bitchin' ride? I knew your family was loaded, Mademoiselle. I wouldn't really. Wait. Holy smokes, dude, you okay? What seems to be the issue, Lloyd? You said Henry McDowell, right? As in the mayor of Crossbell City? That Henry McDowell? Well, I'll be damned. He is? That's right. I believe I saw that name and position recorded in the database. Oh dear. Honestly, it's a miracle that you hadn't noticed until now. There was always something about your surname that bothered me, but I couldn't for the life of me figure out what it was. The mayor's name must have totally slipped my mind, I guess. Geez, and I call myself a detective. Well, I don't particularly mind if you know. My grandfather's position has nothing to do with me, after all. We should get back to the task at hand. It pains me to admit it, but we have to tell Ilya and the others about the First Division taking over the case. Yeah, unfortunately. Yo, Mademoiselle, why do you think your granddad stopped by Arkansas? Oh, that? Arkansas's first public performance of their new production is being held alongside this year's anniversary festival. I can only assume he was here for a business meeting regarding that. Had a lot of dialogue. Let me save my game here. Gasp. Phew. Oh look, you're back. Hot damn, lucky us. You two are incredible. Indeed, I have never experienced anything quite like that. You think? Sounds like if we start ironing out the kinks, this might become a crowd favorite. Oh, that gives me an idea. How about we put a little delay on the Moon Princess's spin, Rixia? The way the Sun Princess will have to respond in a way that should really wow the audience. That's perfect. Your dancing isn't the only thing that's amazing. You're building upon a thinner scene, even though you don't have to. How's that amazing? If we have the ability to do it, we might as well strive for perfection till it's time to perform. But enough about that. Any developments in the investigation? Oh, that's right. Yes, actually. It's, not exactly good news. What do you mean? Alright then. Let me go grab Yvonne and then you can fill us in on everything, okay? This Yin character sounds like he's quite dangerous. Can't be serious. He's really somewhere in the city? Wowza, ain't that a kicker. A shadowy, immortal assassin that the Eastern Quarter sings legends about. Oh, I love it. That character will play a huge role in our next production. Actually, let's just throw him in. Couldn't we use those white robes for the third act as a costume? Oh, Ilya. You should probably try and take this a little more seriously. According to our intel, a group known as Heiyue, or Heiyu, appears to be employing a criminal named Yin. We still don't quite understand why Yin sent Ilya that threat letter in the first place. But one thing is certain, the possibility that this is just a prank has decreased exponentially. Is there any chance you could postpone, or not a chance, buddy? We wouldn't walk off the stage even if a bomb was about to go off. Isn't that right, Yvonne? Well, I suppose so. Though we aren't all as rabid as Ilya, the truth is that all members of Arc Conceal are possessed by the monster known as the Stage. You wouldn't find one member of the troupe who would refuse to appear on stage when faced with the opportunity. I may be new to all this, but I feel the same way. I swear, you guys are obsessed. If you intend to proceed with the show, would you care if we handed over security duties to someone else? Well, I mean, it's pretty annoying, but we all have to make sacrifices. Those First Division guys, what kind of people are they? Good question. Well, they're definitely qualified, but they might act a little too qualified at times. Objectively speaking, they're excellent at what they do. The First Division are an elite group that lives up to their name. They should be able to protect you and your show with the utmost discretion until curtain call. Yeah, just my luck. Then again, we will have a full house, better safe than sorry. Patience, Ilya, patience. Anyway, we are talking about you here, Ilya. Once the play starts, I doubt you will care much about what they do, right? How rude. I'll have you know that I always pay close attention to my audience. The show begins only when the audience and play become as one. Isn't that one of your famous sayings? For anyone else's case, yes. In yours, however, I say forcibly dragging everyone along into your own rhythm is a bit more accurate. He's not mincing his words at all, is he? Indeed, all the evidence indicates that Ilya has a remarkable obsession with performing. Excuse me, Lloyd. What happened to your investigation? I'm really sorry, Rixia. We don't have much wiggle room here. The First Division is most likely going to take over the case. Good news is that I doubt you have anything to worry about. You're officially off the case, then. That's a bummer. Only reason I agreed to all this was because you were leading the show, Lloyd. Still, I appreciate you looking into things for us. I'll send some tickets your way as thanks, so be sure to come and see the play next time you're free. I'm sure we can arrange something. Though I'm afraid you might wait until after the anniversary festival. If you're okay with tickets for next month, I can have them sent to you as gifts. Seriously? Hell yes, and here I was thinking that I'd have to wait 2 months to see it. It is quite generous, thank you very much. Ellie? I'm so sorry, everyone. I've caused you nothing but trouble. Don't worry about it, Rixia. After all, wasted efforts are just another part of the job. Such is the nature of crime prevention. Yep, no worries, Rixia. Forget about us and focus on the private performance, eh? If you guys say so, then I will. Thank you, everyone. Private performance? The hell? You don't know about it already? Arkham still puts on a little sneak peek of their new show before it's available to the public. That's correct. This will be my first time performing in one. People from the media and other select individuals, home and abroad, have been invited to attend. I can only assume that lots of celebrities will come too and boost awareness of our new production. Wow, that's pretty crazy. By any chance, was Mayor McDowell invited as well? Oh yes, he's our guest of honor. Others have told me that he plans to publicly support it in conjunction with the anniversary festival. He's quite kind. Despite his busy schedule, he made time to stop by and encourage us. I very much like him. Good luck with the private performance, Rixia. It may be your first time, but I'm sure you'll perform wonderfully. You think so? Absolutely. Considering all the training you've put in, I doubt you have anything to worry about. Hell yeah, this play's gonna be sick. I am quite looking forward to it. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I'll return to practice then. Thank you for your help, everyone. Ready to head back, guys? Nothing better to do. I feel exhausted, both mentally and physically. I can relate. Hale? Oh, excuse me. What's Ren doing in there? Oh? We have met her before, yes? Yeah, we have. Back at the doll studio. It's been a while. Your name was Ren, right? See? Correct. I believe it's been about a month since we last saw each other. And you know, it's very impolite to have to double check what a lady's name is. As a gentleman, shouldn't you have had no trouble remembering it? You're right. Sorry, Ren. Darn little girl, ain't she? You look like you're alone. Did you take the bus to come look around the city? Yes, something like that. You see, I enjoy visiting the antique shop by myself every so often. They occasionally put Grandpa's dolls on display, and oh, they have the absolute cutest stuffed animals. They do? Huh. Still, isn't wandering around this part of town alone kind of irresponsible? I assure you, nothing here possibly poses a threat to me. The Barkers and the hostesses are all very nice people, and those men in the black wearing all the black glasses never fail to make me laugh. That's okay. You make me worried, Ren. Oh, that reminds me. Did you have fun playing hide and seek with the wolves? It looked as though you had quite a few uninvited guests show up at the last second, too. Come again? Did you get all that from reading the Crossbell Times article about the case? Sure, let's go with that. Wolf became your friend, didn't he? If you could, please introduce me to him next time you have the chance. Sure, we'd love to. Mysterious as always, this one. Indeed she is. Huh. Oh. Wait, isn't that... Ernest. Oh, thank goodness. I was just starting to wonder if I came to the wrong place. Ernest? Did you come to see me? Yes, I did. I have business to attend to at the office, so I decided to stop by. Ellie, what's wrong? You don't look too great. Well, so you've gone to see Arkham Steel recently, related to your police work, I take it? Well, sort of. Someone in the troop was asking us for advice, and we went to report what we found, that's all. No, Ellie, I wasn't sure whether I wanted to come here today or not, but I know I made the right decision. What do you mean? Allow me to be brutally honest with you. Ellie, I want you to quit the force and return to us. Quit the force? You want her to do what? Whoa there, buddy, that came out of left field. It does not appear to stem from feelings of love, at least. I know it was your idea to join the CPD, Ellie, but you have the eyes of a lost lamb. You look so... exhausted. Ask yourself, is this really the path you should be walking? What are you saying, Ernest? Listen to me. I know you understand the current political climate and the despair that comes with it better than anyone, and that's likely where your initial urge to join the police originated from. But just try to think about the torment and pain the mayor is going through, how he feels in the current situation. I never meant for grandfather to. The anniversary festival draws near with every passing day, and Mayor McDowell is up to his neck with work. And after that, it's right back to arguing with the Imperial and Republican factions over the budget. Then, the very next month, he'll be up for re-election. As I'm sure you know, Mayor McDowell has had plans to retire, but without a suitable successor, he remains undecided. I'm sure that if you were by his side, he would feel much more confident. I'm sorry, Ellie, perhaps this was uncalled for. However, I can't ignore the issue any longer. As someone who respects Mayor McDowell, and as your friend, I cannot stand idle any longer. Ernest, obviously what path you choose to follow is entirely up to you. All I want is for you to not regret your decision. Follow what you know to be right. Just give me time to think about it. Excuse me, everyone. I'm tired, so I'll retire to my room for now. Sure. My apologies. I know suddenly showing up out of the blue wasn't exactly tactful. It's okay. It sounds like Ellie's situation is more complicated than we thought. As long as you stop bothering Mademoiselle Ellie, we're cool. Seconded. Personally, it feels like you're attempting to take Ellie away from us. Really, that wasn't my intention. Still, you are aware that she wanted to become a politician before a police officer, aren't you? Politician? Really? You don't say. Hi, Mademoiselle Ellie. That would explain her seemingly boundless knowledge of politics and economics. As the heir of our current mayor, it was only natural for her to pursue a career in politics. Her years as an exchange student in so many nations should have contributed to her talent for international relations and politics. However, when she returned home last year, she was dead set on joining the CPD. That's how it happened. I was unaware. I did always wonder why a fancy lady like herself was working for the CPD. Would you keep an eye on her until she makes her decision? She's too talented, too skilled to simply flounder about like this. Goodness, it's already gotten so late. I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time. I'll get out of your hair now. See you. Yes, today has been full of such sighs. With the ringer we went through today, hell, I'd say they're warranted. My brain's fried. Yours and mine both, Randy. Anyway, let's report back to the chief and call it a day. Well, that's where things stand. Well, are you okay with leaving the situation as is? You're saying we have a choice? First Division took over the case. There's no way we can oppose them, given our team's position on the force. You make a good point, Lloyd. The fox would probably track you down and start barking at you till the sun set. Yeah, that seems to be one of the Vice Commissioner's favorite pastimes. Could we not simply offer our assistance to the First Division? Don't know how well that'd play out, considering old Four Eyes' attitude towards us. Yep, that's also a long shot. The CPD is a territorial bunch and makes the organization a hassle to deal with. That goes double for the First Division. Their stubbornness wouldn't allow them to accept help from a group of rookies like the SSS. But if you're talking about working incognito, that's another topic altogether. You're proposing we go behind their backs? This is the special support section, the most unconventional squad out there. Since we're kind of ignored by the department, that gives you a certain level of discretion that you can use to your advantage. Basically, if you play your cards right, you can act without provoking that territorial nature of theirs. Make sense? Dude, you do realize you just said we can ignore our superiors' orders, right? You're being quite the bad influence. Didn't I make myself clear? I won't work with you in the field, but I'll cover for you when I can. You're the ones jumping into the fire, not me. That being said, the current situation might make this plan impossible to pull off. One of you is struggling to figure out what to do. And this situation is something you can only overcome by operating as a unit. You're right, but... well, Mademoiselle Ellie doesn't know what to do. She must really be down in the dumps. She'll probably get over it, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have some butterflies. She's been like that all day from what I could tell. Is Ellie going to be alright? Ellie, over these past 2 months I thought we'd become pretty close. Sounds like all the important issues she's been dealing with flew right over my head. I suppose it makes sense that Mayor McDowell's granddaughter is an aspiring politician herself. Now that I think about it, you didn't attend the police academy, right, Ellie? How'd you happen to join the CPD? Well, to be honest, this is a part of my plan to study our society. While I didn't attend the academy, I did take a written exam and marksmanship test when I applied. They couldn't really reject me, since I made perfect marks on both tests. You know, the more I learn, the more I feel like we're worlds apart. Oh, but it's pretty rare for rookies to already earn their detective license, isn't it? You have your own circumstances, right, Lloyd? That's... Perhaps it'd be best to continue this talk after we've officially become co-workers. Alright. I'll try talking to Ellie for a bit. If she's worried about something, I might be able to lend a shoulder. And is it time we continue that conversation we started? Huh. That is true. How long have I been going? 35 minutes, not that long. Alright, cool. I am hungry as hell, but we gonna keep it moving. Gots to keep it moving. Let's see. Oh, whoops, what did I do here? Alrighty. Ellie, where are you? Here goes nothing. Ellie, do you have a minute? No reply? Is she asleep? No, I don't sense anyone inside. I hope she doesn't mind me checking. Just as I thought, she's not here. Where could she have gone? Maybe I should try searching for her. Oh. Lloyd? Hey Ellie, how'd you know it was me? Just a hunch. I think I somehow knew you would come. So you did. Breathtaking as always. Isn't that the IBC in the distance? Yes it is. I doubt you would find a night sky as beautiful as Crossbells even if you scoured the entire continent. Yet the more lights of the city shine, the more the stars seem to dim. The purity of starlight, the symbol of Adios' love. Ellie, you remember everything that happened today, don't you? With Ravash, Heiyu, and Dudley. No matter what you do, you can't change Crossbell's true nature. Ravash's iron grip is here to stay. I am merely referring to them as our fellow business competitors. State law protects competition between businesses and free trade, you know? Do you take offense with that, officers? We're charged with maintaining a certain degree of order in a city where justice has an uphill battle as is. We're expected to suppress major crimes to protect the public from criminal organizations and foreign intelligence agencies. Can you possibly fathom the work that goes into that? Therein lies the city's darkness, the tragic truth of the state called Crossbell. We're kept alive only by the will of the Empire and the Republic, stripped of all pride, lied to and deceived. We're drowning in false prosperity and frivolities only because our captors allow it. Everyone just surrenders to these circumstances and accepts the status quo, blissfully ignorant. That's the city we live in. Maybe you're right. But you don't want to surrender just yet, do you, Ellie? I once had a mother and father. Once had? Oh, I suppose putting it like that makes it sound as if they've passed away. They're still very much alive. What I mean to say is, they divorced when I was little. My mother lives in the Empire now, and my father in the Republic. I had no idea. My father was born and raised in the Republic. He moved to Crossbell City, met my mother, and after marrying into the McDowell family, he strove to become a politician. Immediately after becoming a Diet member, he recognized the ugly, distorted reality of the city. As someone with a strong sense of justice, he made it his duty to mend this broken city. Year after year, he drafted reform bills, all in the hopes of bringing change to the state. That's a maze. It's not. In the end, his bills were never passed. The Imperial and Republican factions both shunned him, ridiculed him. One by one, his allies betrayed him, friends left him, and he became the laughingstock of the political world. Not even my grandfather, as well respected as he is for being neutral, was able to mend his career. Crossbell brought my father to utter despair. And then one day, he quit, as a Diet member, as a husband, and as my father. He decided to leave everything behind for Calvard. Mother couldn't stop him, and at the same time, she couldn't follow him while dragging me along. Eventually, they settled on a divorce, and my father was gone for good. I always thought Mother hated him for what he did, but I'm sure she was just heartbroken. It soon became apparent that living in Crossbell, the state that robbed her of her love, would be too much to bear. My mother left me behind in Crossbell and went to live with her relatives in Erebonia. Then I was taken in by grandfather, who raised me to who I am now. It was from that moment that I vowed to follow grandfather down the path of politics. It's not as if I feel an urge to avenge my father or anything like that. I couldn't accept reality. How could a family so jubilant and loving end up in absolute shambles that quickly? After I made my decision, grandfather began to help me. I studied abroad, all over the continent, focusing on politics and economics. However, the more I studied, the more I realized that the gears of Crossbell were powered by oppression. Oppression created by the Empire and the Republic. Our justice, our natural interests, are intertwined with Erebonia and Calvard, only serving to blur the line between what we need and what they want. That was when I finally saw it for myself. Crossbell's barriers? Yes, the same ones my father faced, and ones I'm sure my grandfather faces too. Do you know how the leader of Crossbell State Government is? Do you know who the leader of the Crossbell State Government is, Lloyd? Isn't it Mayor McDowell? Well, yes, but there's technically two people, the Crossbell City Mayor and the Speaker of the Diet. Grandfather and the Imperial Faction Speaker, Hartman, jointly represent our government. That's how we operate, according to state law. Sounds like I neglected some of my studies. But wait, why did Crossbell adopt such a divided system in the first place? That's obvious. If two equal representatives continually hinder things by butting heads, political reform is nigh impossible. No way. Is that really how things are? I'm afraid so. With two people on top, one side can easily sabotage the other if they try to push some sort of reform through. The fact that this happens is an ironic inevitability given Crossbell's founding. 70 years ago, Crossbell State was born from a mutual agreement between Erebonia and Calvard. In fact, Crossbell's founders were none other than Imperial and Republican lawyers. Seeing the current state of Crossbell, I can't help but think of it as a curse. I was at a loss. If I were to continue into the world of politics, that same curse would grab me by the neck and drag me under just like my father. That's why I decided on a new approach, one my family hadn't tried yet. And that was the CPD? Yes, from there, I told myself I could observe Crossbell's distortions without looking through the muddled lens of politics. I convinced myself that my experiences gained here would be my weapon of choice on the day I entered Crossbell's political arena. The reform that my father failed to achieve and grandfather is unable to pursue, I thought this new, unblemished perspective could finally make it become a reality. I'm sure it can. Perhaps, but in the back of my mind, I know that joining the CPD might have only been an escape. I knew that what happened today was inevitable. But still, the reality of things was even colder and crueler than I had imagined. When confronted with it, I was at a loss. Maybe I'm incapable of doing anything on my own after all. Oh crap, I hope I didn't fill up my hard drive. What was that sound? Nope. Okay, I just heard some weird, like my computer made that. I'm sure you guys heard it in the video. But I was like, oh crap, I hope my hard drive isn't full. I thought I made plenty of space to record. But just in case, I'm gonna go look at my hard drive space now, make sure. Okay, I still got it. Yeah, I got plenty of space. I'm gonna have to upload a bunch of stuff soon, content soon. Anyways, maybe I'm just a broken girl abandoned by her mother and father. So what? Huh? You really are a perfectionist, aren't you, Ellie? Failure isn't an option. The only way forward is to place everything on my shoulders here and now. That's the way you've been thinking, isn't it? That's not... Look, I agree. Today sucked. Being ridiculed, having to hear that all our efforts are in vain. Think about it. Aren't those the things we signed up for when we joined the SSS? Remember, Ellie, there may be barriers we can't get over today, but that doesn't mean we won't be able to get over them tomorrow. Barriers we can't get over today. Right now, the one in front of us is the threat letter case. Dang, that's not pressing button. And even though the 1st Division has taken control of the investigation from us, I say we continue investigating separately from them. What? But there's nothing we can do about it, is there? Sure, the 1st Division may be phenomenal, but even so, it's obvious they're stuck in a cop's mindset, only adhering to traditional logic. Maybe a new perspective is exactly what's needed to crack this case. At least that's how I feel about things. Lloyd, just like how you joined the CPD to gain a new perspective on Crossbell, right? Should we miraculously solve this case, then surely what you're aiming for isn't an impossibility either. I'll admit that comparing our current investigation to Crossbell's underlying issues is a bit of an oversimplification. What we need right now is the experience of overcoming these kinds of obstacles. Think about it. Clear the small barriers, one by one. If we do that, then someday we'll have the power to get over the taller ones too. In these 2 months we've been together, I've come to realize something. You have your own set of barriers you want to overcome, don't you? And if that's the case, how are you able to stay so optimistic? Well, let's see. Maybe it's because I have someone I'm trying to catch up to. Though that in itself may present some issues. I think I understand. But I'm not as strong as you are. I'm just so tired of it all. I didn't come up here with the intention of spilling everything about my past like I did. I just couldn't keep it bottled up anymore. At this rate, I'm only going to drag the team down, and if that's the case, I should probably... Ellie? We need you, Ellie. Your profound knowledge, your negotiation skills, your sharpshooting, your sense of justice. If we're going to stand up to the city, we're going to need you. But let me rephrase that. While all of that's true, my point is this. I'd be happy to have you by my side, Ellie. What? All of us were a bit of a mess at the start, but I think we've gotten pretty close over the past 2 months. Even when we're bombarded with the stress of daily life, we make time for the small things, like deciding whose turn it is to cook. We've come to place trust in each other and each other's individual strengths. Shouldn't we be grateful to have partners like that? Well, we may still be rookies, sure. It's too early for us to underestimate Crossbell. But it's also too early to let it beat us. We'll tackle each day head on, whatever we can, and keep relentlessly confronting the status quo. And if that somehow fails, we'll just come up with a new plan. Not just me, but Randy and Tio too. I have no doubt that the Chief would do everything in his power to help us out as well. Heck, even Zaid has our backs now. Bottom line, you're not alone, Ellie. I'm not alone. You're absolutely right. I'm disappointed that I forgot something as simple as that. Thank you, Lloyd. Even though it won't be easy to solve all my problems, I do feel a little better now. Glad to hear it. Still, apart from the lines that sounded like they came straight out of a teen drama, I was a bit surprised. I'm painfully aware of how cheesy they were, okay? What do you mean by surprised, Ellie? Because, well, talking about how I'm needed and telling me that you want me by your side, I thought you were confessing to me. Confess? Oh, wait, hold the phone. That wasn't my intention at all. Oh? Are you implying that I'm not worth confessing to? You know that's not it. Oh, come on, you're just teasing me now, aren't you? Just a small dose of payback. You should be a bit more self-aware, though. Honestly, I don't know whether to call you a natural smooth talker or an up-and-coming womanizer. Hey, hold on a second. Are you still talking about me, or did you switch to Randy? Your denseness doesn't help your case any either. Good grief, Lloyd. I can't believe that words alone made me get all flustered like that. What'd you say? I missed that. Nothing. I'm really sorry for leaving the Chief's report all up to you. Have you come up with a plan about the investigation yet? Not yet. Right now, the case hinges on figuring out what Yin hopes to accomplish. Tomorrow we can ask around and see if we can't find some sort of lead based around that. That's fine by me. Thanks to you, I have a feeling that I'll be sleeping soundly tonight. How about we hold a meeting tomorrow morning after we get our much needed rest? Sounds like a plan. Lloyd and Ellie learned Star Blast. By spending 100 CP each, a powerful combination attack can be unleashed. Ayy! That concludes this week's report. The warhounds they've trained may prove troublesome. If Master Yin were available, he would easily compensate for our lack of force. Very well. Proceed with preparations, as planned. Next on the agenda, recall half of our personnel currently dispatched in Altair. Understood. I shall take my leave, Master Cao. Have a pleasant evening. No. Yes, to you as well. How troublesome. I'll have to worry about the consequences later if I request the Elder's assistance. If only Master Yin were more cooperative, our plans would be proceeding splendidly. Worry not, I plan to uphold my end of the bargain. It shouldn't surprise me that you were eavesdropping. Dear me, I fear I may have made a few slips of the tongue. Please, as if you did not say those things intentionally. Always the tough customer, aren't you, Cow? Goodness, no. You, on the other hand. Never mind that. Do you wish to discuss business tonight? Or are you perhaps in the mood to cull some warhounds? Your subordinates are more than capable enough to handle such a minor threat. The deal was to have me take care of Ravash's main force, beginning with that man Garcia. But do correct me if I'm mistaken. Oh dear, you truly are no fun. It's come to my attention that you've become entangled with Arkan Seal for some odd reason. Just a reminder that the CPD isn't too shabby at their job, so don't do anything to soil my good name. To make myself clear. No need to worry. More importantly, what kind of impression has the special support section left on you? Oh, so that's your game. You have ties to them, do you? Let's see. They are an odd combination of children, especially their leader, Lloyd. He's perfectly aware of his weakness, yet he continues to push forward with determination. His intuition is enough to keep him on his toes, too. I quite like his type, to be honest. I was not asking you about your tastes, but about the other members. Again, each of them proves to be quite interesting. Mayor McDowell's granddaughter possesses a keen sense of diplomacy and operates as the team's administrator. As for the girl from the Epstein Foundation, while her Orville staff itself is fascinating, she is likely hiding a few tricks up her sleeve. Lastly, we have our ginger gentleman. This may only be my intuition speaking, but I felt that he's the same as us. Surely you understand. Yes. I must ask, why have you taken such a great interest in them? Whatever do you mean? I only wish to put them to a little test. A request from Yin. Was I right to entrust them with such a task? Interesting. Zayt just be sleeping all the time. Isn't it a bit ridiculous? Despite our work, we had no choice but to hand the case over to the First Division. Rixie was smart enough to ask us, but just imagine if she hadn't. Everything we learned about Yin would have stayed in the dark. Yeah, I know. If only there was some kind of diversion that would allow us to continue investigating. Let's think for a minute. Who would know about the existence of Yin? Obviously Heiyu, considering that's his current employer. And then there's their rival, Ravash, and the First Division, who's tracking Heiyu's movements according to Dudley. From there, we can assume that Speaker Hartman, who's closely tied to Ravash, knows about him as well. That's the man you mentioned yesterday, right, Ellie? Yes, he's a career politician who more or less rules over the Diet, serving as the leader of the Imperial faction. Honestly, it wouldn't be far-fetched to say that he's Ravash's greatest supporter. Incidentally, almost all of Grandfather's reform bills were crushed by this man. I've always heard his name, but I never understood the weight behind it. But in this instance, wouldn't Yin be their opponent? That would make sense. Tia? Randy? You two look completely bewildered. Is there something we're missing? No, it's just... You seem to be in a much better mood today, Ellie. I guess so. I'm sorry about yesterday, everyone. I wasn't acting like myself. But I'm fine now, and I don't intend to be a burden to the team. You've never been a burden to us, Ellie. Quite the opposite, actually. You help us out all the time. I mean, look at us right now. You're making the connections in this case that I'd never be able to make. I guess so. Something smells fishy. Agreed, something is off. Very off. What's that supposed to mean? Wait a minute, you two. You know, I could hear a pair of voices chatting away on the roof from my window. I wonder... Congratulations, Lloyd and Ellie. I wish the best for you two. Hold on, we didn't do anything that warrants congratulations, right, Ellie? Yes, I mean, no. We were just talking about life and other things of that nature. Life, eh? Uh-huh, I'm sure you did. So, Lloyd, how far did you go? Randy, please, Tio's sitting right there. How far did you go? Is Randy referring to the intimacy people engage in while in romantic relationships? Nope, not at all. Lloyd and Ellie, sitting in a tree. Guys, cut it out. Yes, ma'am. You guys are insane. Me and Ellie together, romantically? I say the odds of that happening are pretty slim. What was that? I mean, we're kind of incompatible, and everything last night was strictly professional. Right, Ellie? What's the matter? You numbskull. You just signed your death warrant, Lloyd. Oh yes, you are so right, Lloyd. All I did was ask you for some advice on a very unimportant subject, that's all. There most definitely wasn't any sort of romantic atmosphere like you oh so graciously pointed out. All right. And you know, by incompatible, I only meant that we don't exactly make a good match. Claire, sorry. Well, on the bright side, it looks like you've perked up since yesterday, Mademoiselle. Ah, thank goodness. I was not sure whether or not you were going to stay with the CPD. I'm sorry, I never meant to make you all worry. I don't know where the future will take me, but right now, this is where I'm meant to be. Everyone, I'm happy that I get to keep working with you. Ellie. Good to have you back, Ellie. Damn straight. Besides, doubt we get anything done around here without you to keep us from goofing off. I wouldn't have to be so stern all the time if you three would just stay on task. Well, that's enough of that. Do we have any ideas what to do about the investigation from here on out? Good question. We could always attempt to corner Yin with a different approach than the one the First Division is using. But considering how many methods there actually are, we might just end up even more confused than we are now. Yeah, that's probably not the best strategy. How about we go on a little trip to Calvard's eastern quarter? I bet we'd find a few clues about Yin there. Are you being serious, Randy? Will we even get permission to go on a business trip? Given our team situation, I doubt we'd be allowed to travel very far. Tia? Did you think of something? I was contemplating looking into the police database a bit more. Perhaps I'd be able to learn about the First Division's movements and so on. Then again, I already searched it last night, so likely it's not been updated since. That's not a bad idea. Hey, it beats sitting around here and doing nothing. Ah, what's wrong? How strange. It seems as though we received an orb mail. What's that again? Aren't they essentially letters that can be sent from terminal to terminal? Precisely. The peculiar thing is, despite being extremely useful, almost no one in the CPD uses orbital mail. Most likely because not many officers are trained to use keyboards. I'm one of those, unfortunately. Well, who's it from? Let me check. What? Was something wrong? Who would send us? I, Yin, hereby submit my support request. Overcome this trial and face me. Only then will I grant you your mission. It's him. Is this some kind of joke? Tio, where was the mail sent from? Definitely not the police department. Got it. It was sent from the International Bank of Crossbell, otherwise known as the IBC. What exactly does it mean? The IBC is that bank that rakes in mirror from all over Zemuria, right? How the hell would a place like that be sending us prank mail? Do not ask me. I can say, however, that this mail was definitely sent from an IBC terminal. I have no way of knowing who sent it, though. Could it be possible that Yin infiltrated the IBC? It's not out of the question. The IBC building is home to quite a few external companies and organizations. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's an Epstein Foundation office too. That is correct. An acquaintance of mine works there. However, I should have been more clear. The orb mail was sent directly from the IBC's main terminal. Because of that, I think the possibility of an external company being involved is low. Well, we won't know until we ask them. I wanted our investigation to fly under the First Division's radar, but we really don't have any other choice. Yeah, going undercover this time might be a little tricky. Should we hurry up and check it out before they screw everything up again? Actually, we may be able to perform our search in secret after all. Really? How exactly? My best friend's father works at the IBC. If we told him about our unique situation, he might give us a hand. Think so. Hey, ain't that convenient? You got more connections than you know what to do with, huh? With Mademoiselle? Well, I have a decent amount. Unfortunately, I have no way of knowing whether or not he's even in Crossbow City, given how hectic his schedule is. What sort of position does he hold there? A pretty important one. Honestly, I'd be surprised if you didn't know his name. Theodore, Craw? Roy? Craw? What? Dieter, rather. What? He famous or something? Yeah, he is. Honestly, you can make the argument that he's just as popular as Ilya. Dieter Craw. He is a prominent Zemurian billionaire, a leader of the world economy, and the current CEO of the International Bank of Crossbell. He runs the freaking bank? I originally knew him as an old friend of my father's, but he's also kept a friendly relationship with my grandfather. Because of that, I've known him a good portion of my life. Oh, I almost forgot, his daughter was one of my closest childhood friends. Oh, that's amazing. Thing is, we can't do much if he's not there, even if he is the CEO. You're right. I hear That he spends almost half of the year flying abroad. Nevertheless, there's no harm in trying, is there? Even if he isn't in town, my friend might be. He may even be able to help us. Let's do it then. I think we already have a rough idea what the situation is, so we should know what in particular to investigate. The intentions behind the Orb mail, right? It was rather intimidating, but what exactly does he plan to do? Well, he went out of his way to reach out to us and lay down a challenge. I say we take the bait. Agreed. Shall we head to the IBC? And on that note, alright, yeah, I think let's go ahead and save my game here. And I'm gonna go ahead and call it on this episode. It has been a great pleasure playing through. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and until next time, friends.